guys, Joe here from XFoxGames. Check it out, we are back, this time with the M1887. Now, there's actually a couple different model numbers for this that you guys have seen with different manufacturers, but for the most part, I think a lot of them really look the same. Just a lot of them might come with a red dot scope or something similar, but the one that we have here is the M1887. This took a few months to get to us, but I believe I've seen these on Amazon. How long it's going to take to get to you, I don't know, but you probably can pick those up here. Now, we had a few people when we did the XM1014, we had a few people ask, hey, are you going to do a review on this particular blaster? I was like, yeah, when we get it. So it is finally here, which is awesome. And you know what? These quote-unquote realistic type blasters are really, really cool. They are more functional than they are practical, I think anyway. So if you did want to check out the version we did on the XM1014, check it out there. I mean, yeah, before you get one of those, definitely check out that video because there are a few things that you're like, oh yeah, okay, I can live with that. Yeah, I cannot. But still, let's just jump right in. So let's take a look at the box on this. The box, you know, mine's purple. I mean, what else? But you open it up, you got nice instructions, tells you everything it goes over. There's really not much to it. Mine came fully assembled, basically ready to go. This does come with both the suction and the standard darts, as well as a bunch of shells. So, I mean, pretty much you just take this thing out, throw a dart inside there, and you are good to go. Now, one of the things about this, though, is the darts that come along with this, just note, they consider them a short dart, but they're not really a short dart, right? So mine comes with, or really both of these came with the suction head darts, as well as the standard, you know, dart heads that you typically get. But they are about 15 to 20 millimeters longer than your standard Adventure Force, your standard short darts that we use typically here. Now, you can use both inside the shell. It's just you got to push them down a little bit farther. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, while we are on the topic of shells, you cannot use the shells for the 1014 inside the 1887 or vice versa. So I'll pull it up here. You can see for the 1014, I mean, they are substantially longer, probably about 30 to 35 millimeters longer than the shell for the 1887. I tried putting it in there to see. It sure fits in the barrel, but it doesn't eject and it doesn't shoot because really there's no seal. And there's no way you can fit the 1014s down inside the chamber here. So I thought they were going to mix and match, but they don't. And I was hoping that the backs on the 1887 shells would kind of have that rubber grommet on the back to kind of help with the seal, but they don't. But you'll see here that they actually have about the same performance, actually a little bit better from the 1887. So with that said, yes, you can use short darts, but you cannot flip-flop when it comes to shells. If you take a look at this blaster straight up close, woo, it is nice. I love the anodized aluminum where it needs to be, right? Whether it is on the charge tube, whether it is on the handle, whether it's on the kind of the brace, it all just feels really good. And this thing has some weight to it, so you know it has some quality parts to it unless they snuck something in there. But also what's nice is the actual priming handle itself. That is a complete aluminum piece. That thing is heavy and durable. It ate up my hands when I was sitting here cocking it back and forth, so definitely for me, you probably want to wear some gloves or something like that when you're shooting this, but still, it feels really, really quality when you're holding it in the hands and priming. I thought maybe if this was plastic or a hard PLA, yeah, there might be some issues, but no, this thing is a solid piece of aluminum, well, beveled or whatever they did to that thing to make it really, really nice. Now, also, loading this particular thing, if you look inside here, the way to load it is you need to cock it halfway and then load it down and push in. So it's a little bit different than the 1014 where you loaded it from the bottom like a normal quote-unquote shotgun, right? Here, you kind of push down and you push back. Now, this can actually hold 4 in the kind of the charge tube down here and then 1 in the chamber. So you technically can get 5 shots, more than on the 1014. Now, I've read some places on their 1014, you can undo the end cap and get a little more in there. I've tried it, and that is true, but I didn't get enough shells. So that's kind of crazy, and I've already lost a couple. So I thought that was kind of neat, kind of the way that it's the way that it kind of loads them in there. It was very tough for me, though. Sometimes when you kind of load them in there, if you don't push the other one in quick enough, the other one will back out really fast. So it's kind of like, oh, you're kind of struggling. I didn't have that issue after the first 2 or so that I put in there. It was the 3rd and 4th where you had a lot of spring tension wanting to come out. Now, just looking at this thing up close, look at that, guys. Again, it looks phenomenal. I mean, it just looks really, really good, and I think it's going to be awesome on my wall. And I do have the upgraded spring for this thing coming, so hopefully we can get a little bit higher FPS. So let's get into shooting this thing. That's what really a lot of people come here to see. So I went ahead and loaded this thing up with 5 shots. Again, it is, you know, it gets dark out here really soon, so I just gonna shoot it at my door here inside my garage. And for the most part, I mean, whether I was shooting the standard short darts that came with it, the suction tip darts that came with it, or the short darts standard, it all shot about the same. I actually shot faster with the darts that were included, which was vice versa, which was different than when we shot the XM1014. But you can hear that here. I mean, it's hitting pretty good, about 75-ish FPS consistently. It was hitting. And here's the thing, I didn't have any issues at all. I've already shot this thing about 100 times. It takes a little while to load. No jamming, no issues. It fired every single time. It fired hard, and it ejected the shell every single time. The only problem that I had is trying to find the shells when they're clanking all over the floor. You know, they're hitting the concrete, going under boxes, things like that. So that was my only, I mean, I don't even know if you want to say it's a gripe with this thing, but that's the only thing that I said, you know, is kind of different here. So with that said, also I'm gonna pull this up again here so you guys can see kind of the difference between the 1014 and the 1887 in kind of size-wise. So, you know, yeah, the 1014 is substantially bigger. I mean, because you don't got no stock, you got a longer barrel, so you're probably about 8 inches longer on the end, which is, you know, I mean, you bust through a door at that thing, you got a lot of front end space to kind of shoot. So, you know, for a lot of you guys who like a little bit more closer combat, this might do the trick for you guys if you like loading this thing, you know, kind of that kind of Winchester type, you know, type way. I think it's cool, but again, it kind of hurts my hands when I do it so much. So I was going to try and wear something, you know, on here. But, you know, overall, guys, yeah, this thing is cool. A lot of you guys were asking about it, and I was like, fine, yeah, it's already on the way whenever it gets here, and it just finally showed up. Man, the modability of this thing in my head, I'm thinking, man, with that upgraded spring, I was hoping to get, it's supposed to be I believe it's supposed to be 33% stronger than this. So with that said, I'm hoping we tick that 100 FPS you know, category, but I'm not sure how much I'm gonna like doing that on my hands and it actually be a little bit tougher. On the 1014, I don't mind pumping it this way, but this, I don't know, but we're still going to upgrade it so that you guys, if you guys do get it and you guys want to get that $9 spring, you could see if it's right, if it's really worth it. But yeah, there you go, guys. This is that, again, the Winchester Model M1887. I think it's pretty sick, man. I think it's awesome. Definitely a unique blaster in a lot of scenarios and things like that. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Definitely leave it down in the comments. Thanks again, Fox fans.